I'd like to call our regular scheduled board meeting Tuesday, June 18th, 2024, 7 p.m. Item B, declaration of quorum, 7 members present. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to this meeting of the College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees. We were elected at large to represent the interests of our community and our state in educating our students. Our mission for our students in this district is success each life, each day, each hour. We adhere to all pertinent laws, policies, and procedures in posting agendas and conducting our meetings. The detailed agenda information was made available to us at least 72 hours in advance. We've all come to this meeting informed and prepared. We've just completed a workshop meeting where we heard reports and discussed much of the information needed to make decisions in either this meeting or in upcoming meetings. This is a meeting of the 7 trustees in a public setting rather than a public meeting. As such, public comment is included on the agenda at a specific time and requires us to listen rather than take action so as to abide by the Open Meetings Act. We're pleased that you have taken the time this evening to join us. We are very proud of this school district. We thank you for your interest in and support of our students. That will bring us to item C, recognitions, and I believe we had the bilingual summer school kids here.
Sorry, I do too. Hello, my name is Maria Saenz, and I'm the coordinator for the summer kindergarten summer language academy. And here are some of our students that are going to lead us in the pledges today.
Hello, my name is Monica Kim, and I'm 5 years old. Hello, my name is Saran, and I'm 6 years old. Hello, my name is Aitana, and I'm 6 years old. Hi, my name is Matty, and I'm 6 years old. Please stand for the pledge.
Okay, keep it. Go ahead and keep it. Ready? Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Please join me for a moment of silence.
Please join me in a moment of silence. You may be seated.
Right in here. Great job, guys.
Good job, y'all.
We want our picture with you.
Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of my big camera, and we're gonna let your parents take a picture. So stay right there, okay?
Small.
All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, stay right there. Big smiles for your parents.
Brings us to item C2. We'd like to recognize the artwork provided by our bilingual summer school and enrichment summer school kids at the back of our boardroom. So make sure you check that out and see what the kiddos have been doing this summer while continuing to learn. And then I believe Ms. Goolsby has some recognition as well.
Good evening, Dr. Harkrider, Board, Community of College Station ISD. At this time, I would like to recognize 2 assistant principals that will be transitioning back to campuses they have previously served in instructional roles. Next year, they will be serving as assistant principals. These are existing positions in the district. Mrs. Lizzie Ortega will be leaving Welborn Middle School to serve the Creekview family, and Miss Allison Stone will be leaving Welborn Middle School to serve the Greens Prairie family. Congratulations. At this time, we would allow Mrs. Ortega a few words.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm excited to rejoin the Gator family and continue to serve our district.
And Miss Allison Stone.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really looking forward to serving the students, the staff, and the families of Greens Prairie Elementary. Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations, y'all. That'll bring us to item D1, board reports. Do we have any? None?
CMET.
Okay.
DEIC met, updated on the federal funds and allocation to Mr. Mann. Did a very good job explaining how that went to improving the professional development of our teachers. So I think when we talk about compensation, we also look at the professional development as part of that.
And I can just add on that. I mean, they went over a lot of the federal funds that we get and how and the things that those were used for. And it's good. It's money. It's some extra money that we get for the district. But I mean, it is a lot of trying to use that. I saw using that wisely, right, in the little pocket, so that we can stretch the rest of the money that we have for other things. That's one of the big picture takeaways I took from that.
Anything else?
I'm just going to quickly say also, I had mentioned before that I did go to the Summer Leadership Institute last week, which is the ATASA-TASB conference. I went originally because I'm part of the Legislative Advisory Council, and that group did meet to work on what the focus is for for TASB, and really, all our public school districts at the legislative session. And it's not surprising. It really is. I'm trying to keep it very simple this year. It is about funding and a fair funding and playing field. And y'all see the details of it that had come out in a few weeks. But also, I just realized. I mean, it's very similar to the conference we usually go to. And we don't usually go to Summer Leadership, but they have a couple days in this year is in San Antonio, and they'll also have a couple days in Fort Worth. But it's a big conference, very similar to the other one, and so I think it's something we might consider being a part of, just at some level. Again, a lot of our neighboring districts were there in full force, and there's a lot to learn in the timing right now about preparing for. This tough budgets, but also for the legislative session ahead. That was really my focus, because I know we said earlier, to some degree, we have to just buckle down with the problems and the funding, but we also need to use our voices to make sure people are educated about the effect of the funding on us, and that was a big piece of that, of the conference from the last week.
All right. Anything else? Dr. Harkrider.
Yes, sir. We're busy at it. We had our Leadership Academy with our assistant principals, and instructional coaches a few weeks ago that went very well. Heading into the summer, on July 2nd, Ms. Goolsby and I will be meeting with a group from Texas A&M to explore some future partnerships between College Station ISD and A&M. July 9th will be our auxiliary job fair, as well as we'll be advertising positions to fill for our special education instructional assistant positions. We have quite a few of those open right now, so hoping that would be an opportunity to get some positions filled. And then July 16th will be our July board meeting and board workshop.
All right, that will bring us to item E, hearing of citizens. During this time, we will hear from citizens who registered to speak prior to the meeting in accordance with the board operating procedures. The Open Meetings Act prevents us from responding to speakers regarding items not on the agenda. I did skip you, I'm sorry. God, I feel bad. It's just our meeting dates, y'all. It's not that big a deal. I'm going to retract E, go back to D2. Mr. Dunson, take it away, please.
All right, Mr. Horak, members of the board, Dr. Harkrider, we've come to our final meeting date for the 2023-2024 school year. And so at this time, we're going to propose the meeting dates for the 2024-2025 school year. We'll continue with the same trend of meeting on the third Tuesday of each month, and in this next school year, we don't have any amended dates because of holidays. The Thanksgiving, winter, and spring break holidays all fall outside of that third week, and so we'll have our regularly scheduled meetings and workshops within those third Tuesdays of each month. So it is recommended that the College Station ISD Board of Trustees approve the third Tuesday of each month as the regularly scheduled workshop and meeting date.
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Dr. Payne, seconded by Mr. Ben. Any conversation, discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Same sign. Oh, that one carries 7-0. Way to go, guys. All right, that'll bring us to item E, hearing of citizens. During this time, we will hear from citizens who registered to speak prior to the meeting in accordance with board operating procedures. The Open Meetings Act prevents us from responding to speakers regarding items not on the agenda. Comments related to items on the agenda may be discussed during deliberations on that specific agenda item. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Those needing an interpreter may have up to 6 minutes. Each person has one opportunity at the microphone regardless of minutes used. Unused minutes may not be accrued by another speaker. The executive assistant will time the comments and alert the president when time has expired. The board asks those addressing the board refrain from derogatory comments. And our first speaker is Ms. Heather Nickel. And we're going to use that microphone.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to address you today. My name is Heather Nickel, and I'm a parent of 2 students in CSISD. After leaving the last school board meeting, I was approached by several teachers who expressed appreciation for my support on their behalf during the meeting. They mentioned feeling unable to speak up for themselves due to fear. Since then, I've been contacted by several more teachers who shared similar concerns. Teachers, I urge you to speak up. I know it's scary, but if you all advocate together, that will help make it more apparent to the school board. We as parents have your back. And I'll be reading a letter from a teacher. And in the past 4 years, changes have been made throughout our district, from curriculum for different subjects to accelerated instruction for STAR, to changes to add character strong. With many of these changes, there's been little to no training for teachers. It is a figure it out as you go. With the new changes being made for the next school year, there are promises that there will be trainings for teachers to fully understand. I find this difficult to understand as we are entering the 4th week of summer with 0 trainings being offered prior to the week before students return. District of Innovations are claimed to have local control to suit students and staff. CSISD adopted a plan in 2022 listed TEC 21.404 planning and preparation time. Benefits listed as all educators will have quality planning time each month. However, flexibility is requested for instructional planning allotments. This sounds a lot like figure it out mentality once again, which leads us to additional stress, unsureness, and little improvement. It may be too late to undo the changes that have been made, but reflection is never too late to move forward. The book, Reduce Change to Increase Improvement, is quoted to say, "To lead improvement is to exercise influence in ways that leave the team, organization, or system in a better state than before." I encourage the leaders to reflect on if they're leading change or leading improvement. Lastly, they state that there are several openings for critical teaching roles across our district. Teachers already feel stressed out and set back, and the year hasn't even started. Begin to offer information and training for ways for teachers to plan now. I strongly urge the board to critically examine the data presented to you. A study conducted by the University of Arkansas in May found no statistically significant impact on students across or growth with the PLC model. So we're spending all this extra money for just extra stress on teachers? I don't get it. While I understand the school may interpret the PLC model differently, our district is not progressing in the right direction. As I emphasized in the previous meeting, my children deserve better, all students deserve better, and teachers deserve better. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, John Patrick Small. John Small. Okay, we'll move on to Trent McNamara.
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. Thank you for serving the district. I want to speak for a minute on GT education. I'm a parent of 4 CSISD students, 3 of whom are current or former GT students, and 2 of whom were taught by the late Kathy Martin, who I want to recognize for her extraordinary dedication. The GT program has been truly extraordinary for my family. It's been challenging, engaging, innovative. At a time of relentless standardization in the curriculum, it's what my kids talk about when they come home. I have 2 requests with respect to changes in pullout services for GT students. First, I respectfully request that the district be clear and straightforward about your plans for GT. My experience and that of every other parent with whom I've spoken on this issue is that your guidance is unclear to the point of seeming willfully unclear with respect to GT. It seems like language that's designed more to obscure than to clarify. If you want to cut GT or cut pullout services for GT, again, I respectfully ask that you stand up and say it out loud, that you say why you want to do that, and that you state your priorities. If it's going to be good for our kids, there should be a clear and easy way to say why that's good for our kids. Second, I'd like to ask the district to consider that classroom teachers are already overworked, that it's not fair to expect teachers to teach GT on top of their existing duties, to teach that to a high standard or perhaps to any standard. I also think it's unfair to expect parents to believe that they can fill that role. When I hear some of the talk about changes to GT, I feel a bit like I'm being told that the hospital is going to cut specialists, but that's okay because the general practitioners are going to pick up the slack, or that the police department is going to cut detectives, but that's okay because the beat cops are going to solve the crimes. I think this is a great school district. I know many people around this country. This is the best school district that I know of firsthand. It's run by professionals. It's staffed by dedicated teachers. I think it's a better district when we engage and challenge GT students. Thank you.
Thank you. David Foley.
All right, so I'm here again to speak in opposition to cuts to GT enrichment and intervention. And tonight I want to talk about data and where our money goes. First, the district has not provided data showing that change is needed. And second, that the district and Solution Tree have not provided data showing that the proposed changes will be effective. In last month's meeting, the district said that CSISD would use data-driven decisions to inform instruction. But the data presented show good general student performance and excellent GT student performance. So where is the data supporting a change to district instruction and intervention? Dr. Harkrider mentioned that there are 2 groups with consistent poor performance, but no details were provided.
The district is making cuts to the instructional staff and adding administrators and other positions that do not teach students. Please show us the evidence that this will benefit students. Last month, the district also relayed the plan to implement professional learning communities. In February, the Arkansas legislature requested that the University of Arkansas audit Solution Tree's PLC at Work program, which the state had spent tens of millions of dollars and abundant teacher hours on. In June, the researchers published a simple conclusion: the program did not improve student achievement with any statistical significance. Jeff Jones, the company's CEO, said his company had been villainized, and that the study was flawed. There could certainly be flaws with the Arkansas data, but after 27 years in business, Solution Tree should have an unassailable mountain of data to prove that their system works, not simple anecdotes. We, the taxpayers and parents in CSISD, want school resources directed to students. In a time of tight budgets, I asked Dr. Harkrider and the board to review data compiled by non-stakeholders, like the University of Arkansas, and make data-driven decisions that will support our students. The data I've seen indicates that we should not replace interventionists and GT teachers with administrators and consultants. And thank you all, and I appreciate your service.
Thank you. That will bring us to item F, consent agenda. Those items are item G, J2 through J14, J2 through J14, K7, K8, and K9.
Motion to approve as presented.
A second.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Ms. Ege. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. That will bring us to item I1, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of DC local policy change to give superintendent hiring authority of administrators during May, June, July, and August. Dr. Harkrider.
Yes, sir. As we hit the been in hiring season, usually kicks off early April. And as moves get to make, as we get into a 45-day window before school starts, and as administrators or in other districts potentially, or we're trying to hire and make moves, it becomes problematic to try to hit hires that coordinate potentially with board meetings that are set up. Trying to get a special meeting together. Sometimes it's tough to get a quorum together. And so I'm asking you to consider policy DC local. I have hiring authority over all positions except administrator hires. You would still be informed of the administrator hires, but in May, June, July, and August, those would be delegated to myself. So we can continue to keep up to date, that we do not lose candidates, and we can get positions posted and move forward in the event that we need to.
The only comment I make, just given our discussion in the workshop, is in the memo, when it cites the DC local, which comes from DC legal, the board does not approve, we accept recommendations. It's a small but important difference. So just in future memorandums, make sure it's accept, not approve.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Ms. Simmons. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries 7-0. Brings us to item I2, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of reclassifying the position of safety and risk management from coordinator to director. Ms. Goolsby.
Dr. Harkrider, Board of Trustees. In August of 2022, Tracy Boudreau was hired as our coordinator of safety and risk management. Previously, she had served Bryan ISD for 6 years in a similar position and came to us with extensive experience with workman compensation. Mrs. Boudreau has been instrumental with ensuring compliance with workers' compensation laws and regulations. This has allowed the district to focus on the needs of our employees while working to return them to work as quickly as possible. Ms. Boudreau is a point of contact for all things related to safety and security within the district. She led our efforts to secure TNT security solutions for our intermediate and elementary campuses. She works closely with Bryan County School Resource Deputies, Brazos County School Resources, Brazos County Sheriff's Office, TNT Security Solutions on a daily basis, and is one of the first responders to campuses when there is a need. In her time in the district, she has applied for 3 safety grants that have totaled close to $6 million. She negotiates contracts, adjusts our MOUs when necessary, and is working to maintain safety of all of our campuses and facilities. She is working beyond the responsibilities of a coordinator. It is recommended that the College Station ISD School Board of Trustees consider the approval of changing the classification of the Coordinator of Safety and Risk Management to a director-level position.
Proudly motion to approve as presented.
Second. I'd like to say that Tracy has a job that none of us hear about. That means she's doing a great job. And I think the fact that all of us, 14,000 students, go to school every day, kids aren't living in a bubble, but we know they're safe. It's not going to be perfect, but we've got responses and we got the coordination. So it's well deserved and well earned. Thank you for everything you've done that no one will ever know about.
I've had the opportunity to sit on Safety and Security Committee since I've been on the board. Tracy has been able to streamline that and make it more understandable of all the changes that have occurred over the last few years. So appreciate it and look forward to your continued service for us. So thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations. Brings to I3, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of an administrator contract for the Assistant Director of Assessment and Related Services.
Yes, just to clarify, this position is one of 2 assistant director positions in the district that already existed in the district. You will notice the title has been changed to clarify the roles and responsibilities of this position. The candidate of this position of Assistant Director of Assessment and Related Services brings experience as an assessment specialist, most currently, Child Find Team Lead, LSSP, and has a PhD from Texas A&M University. She has multiple publications leading the way for best practices and approaches to student and staff development and consistently presents at the national level. It is recommended that College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees approve a recommendation to issue an administrator contract to Dr. Bianca Watkins for the position of Assistant Director.
What I was going to say is we can approve the position and we can accept the recommendation.
It is my recommendation that you accept that instead of approve.
I motion that we accept it.
Thank you for the clarification.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Ms. Simmons. Any further discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Welcome to College Station ISD, Dr. Watkins.
Dr. Watkins.
Well, I just wanted to say, thank you to everyone in the special education department. You all have been just so warm and welcoming. Even folks in the HR department, custodial staff, everyone across the board has just made me feel so welcome. And I wouldn't be here without my mom, my dad, and my sister, and all the times you all have helped me move. You helped me move back to College Station a 3rd time. So I just want to thank everyone and especially my family. So ready to work.
All right, that will bring us to item J1, consider a change in policy CE local and the application for notification of intent to change the fiscal year start date. Mr. Oz.
Thank you, Mr. Horak. So you heard in workshop, and we've discussed it a couple of times already before, about the potential for a change in our fiscal year. So I have a few just reminder slides to go over. School districts by Education Code 44011 have 2 choices. We may start our school year or our fiscal year July 1, which would then end on June 30, or September 1 and end August 31. So College Station ISD currently is a September 1 through August 31. So we would like to recommend a change in policy CE local. That is the policy that you as a Board of Trustees sets our school year, our fiscal year. Also included in policy CE local, is a recommended addition to that particular policy. This policy deals with annual operating budgets, and a section that College Station does not have, but sometimes is recommended, is one that a section that would deal with fund balance, where you set the desired parameters for assigned and unassigned fund balances. So that has been added. It's really not a huge different practice from what we've had. What we've done before is followed TEA's recommendation of 75 days. And this particular policy now says at or near 3 months, and it sets some parameters for correcting that if we dip below that number. So it's just a recommendation to include some parameters for fund balance. So we've added that to the policy as well. So just as a reminder, some advantages of changing our fiscal year July 1, and this would start with July 1, 2025. It would align with our federal grants. It would align our fiscal year with our school start years. So principals and directors would not have to try to hold their budget to get startup cost out of that. And then we will have a one-time addition to fund balance. And the reason this is we're recognizing 12 months worth of revenue against normally 10 months worth of expenditures. The challenges, I won't go over all of these because most of these challenges are transitional only. And additional work on staff, and that's what we do. So I won't go over those, but some of the largest ones would be adopting a budget prior to receiving our property values. So you as a board would be asked to approve the budget in June. We don't get our certified property values until in July. We do have close contact with the appraisal district, so we've got some ideas of where those property values will be. The other one is the fact that you will be asked to do a separate meeting. Normally right now we do budget and tax rate at the same meeting, so you'd be adopting budget in June, tax rate in August or September. And then the last challenge would be on legislative years. Regularly, legislative session should end on or about June 1st. And we would have to be adopting our budget within 3 weeks of that. But there's, again, some things that we just have to get used to and doing differently, and that timing. So if approved, we'd be asking you tonight to approve the change in policy, as well as the application with TEA to change our fiscal year. We would submit that to TEA and follow up next month with our minutes to this meeting, and then in August, you would be adopting a 10-month budget. We would also provide you with information on a 12-month so that you would see what it would normally look like. So a few of the significant changes that would affect you as a Board of Trustees. You see an example of the budget cycle. What it is currently is that top section for September 1 and what it would look like. So for you as trustees, you're going to have a much earlier budget cycle than what you're accustomed to. And then that 2-meeting adoption. Those are the 2 main things that will affect you as a Board of Trustees. So with that, I'll ask for your approval of the change in policy CE local, as well as the application for notification of intent to change the fiscal year start date effective July 1, 2025.
I'd like to point out 2 things for the record we discussed in workshop, just to reiterate for the audience. The change in the tax rate, when we project a tax rate and we revisit it, just to confirm we cannot raise that tax rate. We could bring it lower that second look.
The only way you could raise the tax rate higher than what you published at the public hearing would be to hold another public hearing to actually go through the advertisements and the process again. So.
And then I'd also like to point out, given the allowing Dr. Harkrider to make those rapid hiring initiatives over the summer, which has been a crunch time for us, this budgeting for the hiring actually helps us to kind of get ahead of the curve, because I know Mr. Simex brought that up in previous workshops.
Yes,
so
sir.
thank you for all that coordination.
Since we are unpaid, you're adding 2 more meetings, so I would like a raise in our volunteer. But I also can't remember, I think at least the last 3 legislative sessions have not ended on time. Is that?
The last one for sure went all the way up to right at November and still didn't. So,
So
they
may or may not
normally
have
would
it.
end on or around June 1st. This year was the session that never ended.
I motion to approve as presented.
And I just want to clarify, so we're also making the change to CE local as far as the fund balance?
Yes, sir.
With this motion? Okay.
That's not a change, that's more just a
It's
list.
just clarifying the direction of the board on where they prefer fund balance to be, and if it gets out of line, what our process will be. It's really just defining what we have been doing.
We have a motion by Dr. Payne, a second by Mr. Decker. Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, sir.
That'll bring us to item K1, consider award of contract manager at risk for construction additions and/or renovations to A&M Consolidated High School. Mr. Simak.
Yes, sir. President Horak, Dr. Harkrider, members of the board. This is a very exciting time. As you well know, our amazing voters approved a big bond package for us back in November. I will kind of outline for you the process that we went through for the next 4 agenda items, and then I'll introduce the contract managers at risk that have been elected by our committee. So we sent out an a request for proposals and received bids on May the 16th. And with the best procurement method, we chose contract manager at risk, which allowed us to review qualifications and pricing at the same time. A committee reviewed that, went through a matrix, and then we set up interviews with the companies that were high on our matrix. And that committee consisted of myself, our new CFO, Ms. Heather Wilson, Paul Butner, our Executive Director of Facilities, Carmela Schaefer, who is our Director of Purchasing, and then Construction Coordinator, Tom Stewart. And so we were very excited when we got those bids back in May. We had 9 companies that submitted, some for all 4 projects, some for just 1 or 2, but we had some companies that we'd never seen before. And so we were very excited to go through that. And after reviewing everything and going through all of our interviews, we have come to the conclusion and chosen the best companies for our current position with our new package at A&M Consolidated High School. So at A&M Consolidated High School, it is recommended that the College Station Independent School Board of Trustees authorize the superintendent or designee to enter final negotiations with Duratech Incorporated General Contractors as the construction manager at risk for the renovations and addition at A&M Consolidated High School.
Motion approved as presented.
I'll second.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Mr. Ben. Any further questions or discussion?
I was just going to ask Mr. Simak if, for the benefit of those watching, if you could just briefly describe what a construction manager at risk is.
So with this procurement method, so this will be the person that's going to be our project manager on the ground. So we'll have an architect, and the construction manager at risk will work directly with the architect in the planning process. Fortunately for us right now, we're getting them into the process very early, so they'll be a part of the planning process for us. They will be our general contractor. They will be the person that helps us see this project through. They'll provide us with a guaranteed maximum price, and they'll be the people that are tasked with delivering this under budget, and on time. I'm very excited today. With us from Duratech is their founder and CEO, Mr. David Rowe.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations. Yeah. Bring us to item K2, consider award of contract manager at risk for construction additions and/or renovations to College Station High School. Mr. Simak.
Yes, sir. Similar process used for this. And so we'll have a contract manager at risk for College Station High School. After reviewing all of our scoring through our matrix, our committee is going to be recommending Dramala Construction. They will also be recommended for our next agenda item as well. But it is at this time that we recommend the College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees authorize the superintendent or designee to enter final negotiations with Jamala Construction as the construction manager at risk for the renovations and additions at College Station High School.
Motion approved is presented.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Ms. Ege. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. And brings us to item K3, consider award of contract manager at risk for construction additions and/or renovations to Rock Prairie Elementary. Mr. Simak.
Yes, sir. And it's recommended that the College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees authorize the superintendent or designee to enter final negotiations with Jamala Construction as the construction manager at risk for the renovations and addition at Rock Prairie Elementary School.
I'm a little disappointed you just didn't say samesies. Ditto.
Noted, Dr. Payne, noted.
Yeah. Motion approved is presented.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Ms. Simmons. Any further questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations, Jamala Construction.
So Jamala was not here with us tonight. Their son is playing in an all-star game, one that I don't know that they expected to be playing in. So that's always 2 thumbs up. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Harker, don't the Longhorns? No, the Longhorns don't play tonight. Excuse me. So with Poe Construction.
I'd like to make a motion.
It's not on the agenda.
Disallow a contract that's already.
No, nonetheless.
Item K4, consider award of contract manager at risk for construction additions and/or renovations to the Career and Technology Center Phase 2. Mr. Simak.
Yes, sir. So we went through a very similar process, and another company that's going to be new to us here in College Station ISD, but certainly a company that has a reputation across the state. And we are very excited to be recommending Poe Construction. So with that, it is recommended that the College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees authorize the superintendent or designee to enter the final negotiation with Poe Construction as the construction manager at risk for Phase 2 of the Career and Technology Education Center.
So moved.
Ooh, look at you.
Second.
I got to scratch this out. I had pain already. We have a motion by Mr. Ben, second by Dr. Payne. Any further questions, comments? Looking forward to the Phase 2. That'll be the fun part because Phase 1 looks unbelievable. So this will be fun. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations, Poe Construction.
So we do have 2 representatives from Poe Construction with us today. Perhaps the most avid baseball fan of the Aggies with a great haircut, wearing his maroon jacket in Aggieland. Their VP, Mr. Shane Williams, and then their project executive, Mr. Luke Tyler. We're very appreciative of them making the trip down to be here with us today.
Brings us to item K5, consider award of RFQ 24-022 to a pool of engineers and authorize the superintendent to negotiate and enter into contracts with the recommended firms for miscellaneous engineering services for a period of 5 years ending May 2029. Dr. Harkrider.
Yes, sir. We've got a list of RFQ here issued for our advertising of a group of engineers that we can choose from as a school district, and those are listed there. The recommendation is that you approve this list as presented.
Motion approved as presented.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Payne, second by Ms. Simmons. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. I don't think all of them are here, but congratulations. Item K6, consider award of contract for the sewer line replacement at College Station High School to Ed Phillips Plumbing in an amount not to exceed $53,475 utilizing the general fund. Mr. Simak.
This one's pretty cut and dry. We have a situation at College Station High School where we just have a pipe that's not big enough to handle the volume which is coming through it, causing us some issues within the building. So we're recommending that we increase a 4-inch line to a 6-inch line, get that done this summer, and that'll certainly alleviate some of the problems that they experience at College Station High School. So with that, it is recommended that the College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees consider approval of a contract for Ed Phillips Plumbing not to exceed $53,475 for the sanitary sewer line replacement at College Station High School utilizing the maintenance general fund.
Motion approved is presented.
We have a motion by Dr. Payne. We have a second by Mr. Decker.
And I'm, the contractor is a client of mine, I'm going to abstain from this vote.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. That'll bring us to item L, and then item M, and then item N, adjournment. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate it. Hope y'all are enjoying your summer. See y'all next month.